cementing his 30-year grip on power in the East African nation. The Electoral Commission made the announcement a short while ago. Museveni won 60.8% of the vote, while his main challenger, Kizza Besigye, won 35.4%. The European Union and Commonwealth observers have criticized the poll, and Besigye's camp had disputed the preliminary results. Chief observer for the UN mission, Eduard Kukan, said the Electoral Commission lacks independence, transparency, and the trust of stakeholders. In the meantime, there is a heavy deployment of soldiers and police in parts of Uganda's capital, Kampala. This is where supporters of opposition presidential candidate Kizza Besigye have gathered. Protesters are on a rampage following Besigye's arrest during a raid on his party's headquarters in the capital. And now for the very latest, let's now head back to Kampala, where we are joined by our correspondent there, Julius Mogambo. Julius, thank you so much for joining us. What is the reaction to the result and indicating that long-time ruler has won those elections?
It is generally a jubilant mode to the people who are in support of the ruling party, the supporters of President Yoweri Museveni, who have seen him throughout the campaigns and the election period, and have gotten this support. They are glad to see President Museveni extend his 30 years in power. That means he's going to be president of Uganda for 35 years. But again, to give you a feel on the opposition side, in the first place, Dr. Kizza Besigye has rejected the results announced by the country's electoral body. A Twitter handle believed to be managed by his wife says that from his confinement, Kizza Besigye rejects the election outcome and calls for an independent audit. Now, this whole mood is spreading across members of the opposition and sympathizers of the opposition who think the election was not free. It was not fair, and they believe that their candidate possibly won this election, and they don't want to believe that President Yoweri Museveni has won.
And talking of that call for a review of that election result, is this a view that is supported by the election monitors and observers there?
The election observers this morning had a press conference where they issued where they touched a number of issues, very pertinent issues. In the first place, the European Union head of the observer mission, Mr. Eduard Kukan, said that the election was carried out and distorted by the ruling party. Campaigns were largely distorted, and the elections were carried out in an environment full of intimidation. So much as we said that they will be releasing a comprehensive report, as far as we know at this moment, they've already identified that Ugandans did not go to vote from a free and fair environment, mainly because of intimidation. They also touched a very important issue of having to limit the freedom of expression. As you might recall, the government had switched off social media sites. People could not Facebook, could not tweet and WhatsApp, and there were reports that money exchange via mobile platforms couldn't go on. So these are some of the concerns on ground.
And Julius, the police there had earlier indicated that they will release the opposition leader once the results have been announced. Now, has Kizza Besigye been released, and is there a real danger that the country can descend into political chaos as they reject that result?
Yes, there were those reports going around that Dr. Besigye will be released soon as the official results come out. Now, the official results came out less than 30 minutes back, and reports we get from Dr. Besigye's home is that he's still confined. Police still surround his home with heavy deployment. They've been there since he was arrested yesterday. So maybe he's going to be released in an hour's time or 2 hours' time. I cannot tell now, but what we know from his home is still surrounded. Talking about violence, President Yoweri Museveni, during his press conference immediately after voting, he told the country that no one will threaten violence. And if I might use his exact words, he said they will put that person in a deep freezer. They will cool that person down. So, talking about violence at this point, I think government said they are ready for them, and then we look forward to see what happens.
Thank you so much. That was our correspondent there, Julius Mogambo, speaking to us from Uganda's capital, Kampala.